Hey guys, look what I got. That's right, I got the FT011 Brushless racing boat. This thing has some really cool features. It flips back over, it's got 4S brushless power. Comes ready to run with everything that you need. In case you're wondering what happened to the box in this unboxing, frankly, I couldn't wait to open this thing up, and I kind of messed up the box a little bit, so in the interest of keeping things pretty, that's just sitting off to the side. So I'm going to focus on this right here, this kick-ass boat, and we're going to take a closer look at that kick-ass boat right now. Alright guys, take a look at this thing. This thing has a nice heft to it. It absolutely feels like quality. The trim and the stickers and whatever you want to call this right here, it looks phenomenal. I am very impressed with this thing. Aesthetically so far, of course we're going to test it, see how it runs. But so far so good. It looks really cool. Apparently it's got a self-righting feature, so if you flip it over like so, it's going to naturally want to go right side up, and if you give it a little power, that should make it super easy to do that. Of course, we are going to give that a test, one way or the other. It might be a surprise how I test it, given the weather outside and my impatience. One really cool thing is this comes with a bunch of backup props just in case you break it. This is a plastic prop, so if it breaks, you've got a bunch of backups, which is really cool. Let's open this thing up. Take a look inside. This thing is sealed very well, guys. Of course, like I said, it comes ready to run. So it comes equipped with a 4S battery. It's got some Velcro to tie it down. Of course, it's a Dean's connector. Many of us have Dean's connectors for our 4S batteries. It's got a water-cooled system. I'm not exactly positive how it works, but I know water comes in through these hoses and empties out different parts here. If you want to get some detail on how that works, watch John VH541's video. He does a great job explaining that. John's also a buddy of mine, so check out his channel. And speaking of giving shout-outs, I want to give a shout-out to GearBest.com. I've got a link in the description where you can check this thing out. I am blown away by this so far, guys. Of course, if I see things wrong with it, I will let you know as always, because I'm pretty picky about these things, especially an RC thing. When people drop their coin in something, it's got to be good. It's got to live up to the expectation, or GB Linden shreds them. So far so good. I'm really excited about this thing. Alright guys, I've got my opportunity to be a little picky. Fortunately, I've got a hobby grade charger that handles 4S. This is probably not going to work unless you've got an adapter for the European plug-in, or if you're in Europe, this should be just fine, but in the United States, that's not going to work very well. And I'm not sure how well this charger would work either, again, being completely honest. But that's okay. Doesn't impact me at all. Everything else seems to be ready to run. I'm going to next open up that package there, and then we're going to take a nice close look at that radio, which when I was setting it up over there, it looks damn solid. So stay tuned, and we're going to check this thing out further. Alright, so now we are looking at what comes inside the box. And we've got, looks like we've got a bit of a nose protector or something like that. A protective piece, if you will. I may end up using that here shortly. Hint, hint. And it's like we've got some spare props in there, as I alluded to before. We've got some tools. We've got some lube. Lube is always good, right guys? I got a wrench, Allen wrench, and I'm not exactly sure what the heck that is. Maybe an Allen screw. Sorry for that fuzzing out, guys. Hopefully I won't have to use that, but I might just use it. And if I do, I will show you guys what I did and why I used it. And these are the props that I alluded to earlier. And here are the pieces for our boat stand. Alright, goes together like so. Alright, that's pretty quick and easy. And it looks like we've got a total of 3 props in the box. I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty cool. And here we are, setting our boat on our boat stand. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. I have never had an RC boat before, guys, so I am thrilled to have this thing. I truly am. Now let's take a look at the radio. Now the first thing I notice is this has a really nice rubber grip on it. And the way that this moves is, it feels like quality. So that is a very good thing. The grip, it's pretty ergonomic. I'm left-handed, so that's pretty cool. It looks like we may have a reverse on this thing too, which is unexpected but totally awesome. Reverse, go. Alright, so now we are looking under the hood, if you will. I put some batteries in it, and there it is, trying to bind to the boat. I don't have that plugged in over there, so it's not going to do that. We've got a trim up here, and we've got our dual rates right here, so we can adjust either one as needed. Alright guys, so I put that piece on the nose. You just slide it on and then pop it. There's a little rubber piece to pop that in there, and it'll give your nose some protection. Because this thing cooks. You don't want to smash into a dock or a stump or a rock or something and mess up the nose of your boat. So I really like the idea of this. I'm whacking this pretty hard, and it seems to have some great shock absorption to it. So I am going to set up now. I'm going to charge the battery, seal this thing up, and then we are going to do a fun little test. Alright guys, here we are in the surprise location, surprise test lab if you will. I've got this sitting here in my tub, and we're going to give it a little test. As you can see, I've got some buoys there in the front and back, in addition to that protective tip. I really like this boat, so I don't want to screw it up before I take it out and really let it rip. So I'm going to do some testing right now. Alright, so we're going to do our initial rudder test. Everything seems to be going quite well, so that's always a good thing. Seems like there's a little more throw in one side than the other. That's okay. Now we're going to give it a little front thrust. Nice. Ooh, backwards it almost flipped over. Wow. Yeah, there's not much space in here to do this with this powerful 4S boat. Alright, I'm going to give it a test with me holding onto it, and we're gonna see how that works. I'm probably gonna get wet, but what the hell. Holy shit, this thing has a lot of power. Wow. I could feel the power coming off that thing. That is awesome. Alright guys, we are going to try the self-righting feature. Let's see what happens. It works. It indeed works. That is pretty freaking cool. Alright guys, that was a lot of fun. This is literally fresh from the tub. I've still got a little water dripping externally. I'm going to now open it up, unplug the battery of course, and I'm going to check and see if any water got in. It was sitting on its top for a bit. I flipped it around several times, and we're going to check and see how watertight this is. Alright guys, everything looks pretty good on this thing. Now there was a little water that got in here, but that was because when I broke the seal here, that water dripped in when I picked up the thing. So got a little bit of water in there, but not much. And in fact, this thing is pretty bottom heavy, so unless you drive like a crazy savage and can't keep it upright, then, well, you should be just fine. If you do, well, you're going to get a little water in there when you take off the top, unless you wait for it to dry. So it's pretty much that simple. I cannot wait to take this out on one of the many ponds or lakes that we have around here. A couple other guys just got new boats recently, so look for the maiden run with this, as well as a bunch of racing videos coming up too. This is going to be an awesome summer, and this boat is going to make it that much better. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. GB Linden, out.